tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes! Welcome everybody to another after show for Shark Tank here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We're covering season 7, episode 18 and 19. Screw it, let's do the whole season tonight.
Let's just do it.
I am Cameron Lewis at the only Camshaft, Twitter and Instagram. Zoe Hewitt.
I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting. And to my left,
Chris Howard at Chris Howard Live. You're so awesome, Zoe. At Chris Howard Live. You can also find me on legendarylivingdaily.com and legendarylivingtv.com.
And I'm good intro.
You're awesome too.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay. I'm James Lott Jr. and you can follow me at Black Hope LA on Twitter. It's black. That's black. It's BL. I'm black. But it's
Always bet black.
Always bet on black. Okay. Black by popular demand.
that should be your Twitter.
That's my Twitter. BLAK Hope LA and James Lott Jr. everywhere else.
That's right. There it is, James Lott Jr. So as I said, we're covering episode 18 and 19 tonight. That's Swor-it, Clean Sweep, Tutu Blue, Nobo, Insta-Fire, Custard Stand Hot Dog Chili, PRX Performance, Raches to Riches. But before we do that, we have a special treat. We have another guest this week, y'all.
Woo!
Woo!
Tonight joining us, Tony from Spritz. They were on this season. Tony, how's it going?
Tony!
Good. It's going pretty good. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank you.
for joining us. So we know the business, but why don't you go ahead and give a recap? Who are you guys? What do you do? And how's it been going so far?
Cool. I'm Tony Gauthier, creator and founder of Spritz, the first all-natural 2-in-1 breath and hand freshener. We were on season 7, episode 15 of Shark Tank. Unfortunately, we didn't get the deal, but that's okay. It was an amazing experience. Of course, the exposure is always great, but it was just cool because now everyone finally has a chance to actually get the product. And what I mean by get it is they got what it's all about. So although you may or may not have noticed it on the show, people are getting it. So that's what it's all about. We're in the Bay Area, Oakland, California, San Francisco Bay Area. This is it. This is me. This is the product. This is us. And I'm just super happy to be on the show. I actually love you guys' show. I started watching it ever since a couple weeks ago, and I just enjoy it. So.
Oh, well, thanks.
Oh my God, thank you.
That's
Thank
so
you.
nice.
How about that?
Very cool. So you understand the insanity over here.
Yeah,
So I have a question for you. This is James, and one of the things they had a concern about when you were on the show is that it's a thing for your mouth and for like your hands. So yeah, exactly. So have you encountered any problems with that, PR-wise? Have you worked it out? How's it going?
Nah, it's funny. So, people's first reaction is normally, I'm not spraying something in my breath that I just put on my hands. Like, what the hell? Because, our brain triggers ourselves to think, like, don't put something in your mouth, just put it in your hands. But if you think about it, when you pick up a potato chip, you pick it up with your hand, you put it in your mouth. Kind of same thing. So, people's first reaction is always like that. But when they actually try it, they get it. And especially the smoking community, people that smoke cigars, cigarettes, whatever, people get it because they know that their hands smell.
Right.
Oh,
And
okay.
once they try it, once they break that fear of trying it, it's like, yo, this is dope. This is fresh. This is like, I get it. I don't smell like smoke anymore. And so that initial reaction is always kind of tough to break through, but once people try it, they love it, and then just word of mouth just spreads. People they eat it up. Literally eat it up.
But don't bump.
But a question for you, Tony. This is Chris.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hey, brother. What's happened to the business and what's happened to the sales since this show? Did you get the Shark Tank bump?
Yeah. So the Shark Tank effect it's real. To tell you the truth, it is real. And I'll be totally honest with you. I am aware that in every person that has gone on the tank will tell you this. There's always going to be that surge, that spike in your sales because of the exposure, whether it's people's curiosity of trying a new product or not. And then sooner or later, that spike will die off. So it's up to us, or it's up to the entrepreneur to try to keep that attention going, whether it's social media marketing, doing commercials, whatever it is. But once we aired on the show, you know, prior to the show airing, I won't lie, I wasn't really prepared. We weren't really prepared for the type of excitement that we were gonna, you know, come across. And once the show aired, I mean, boom, it aired on the East Coast first. So I'm out here in Oakland on the West Coast. So at 6 o'clock our time, we're getting sales.
Nice.
And things have been great. I mean, you know, we're doing orders every single day. People are reaching out to us. More retailers are reaching out, mom and pop, small stores, some gas stations, some community grocery stores, even some distributors across seas and also in Canada have been reaching out because there's certain things that are legal in other places that work perfectly with Spritz.
What do you mean by that? Just kidding.
Are you loading that up? Are you spiking that stuff now?
People in Washington are definitely reaching out to Spritz.
Okay.
I wouldn't have figured. That's awesome.
So revenue-wise, where are you guys at now?
Okay, so when we went on the show, if you guys remember, we were just starting out. It was still proof of concept, and we had sold like 1,000 of them hand to hand, face to face. We had made like maybe $3,500. In less than a month, we aired January 8th, and it's still a little too soon to kind of do the metrics of everything, but in less than 30 days, we brought in close to $15,000
Nice.
just on our value, our value pack of the variety pack of 3 for $9.99, but we did a Shark Tank special for $7.99. So I mean, to me, that was actually amazing. That was in less than 21 days. We did about $15,000 in sales. Of course, you know, I'm gonna check it again sometime tomorrow and talk with my financial guy and see where we're at now. But it was cool to see that bump happen over, I'm not gonna say overnight, but in less than 20 days or less than 30 days.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Awesome. Tony, can it help me get the ladies?
Yes, it can.
Cam talks as if he has problems getting ladies.
Oh,
he has
come on,
no
Chris.
problems.
I can use some help here.
He's sitting next to
What
me, so I can talk about
flavor / scent would you recommend?
Okay, so that's a trick question because so I personally I like the cinnamon, and we did some market testing, and a lot of people like the cinnamon better. That's why we offered the 2 cinnamon and 1 peppermint. But it's funny, I'm starting to notice that people really are digging the peppermint.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Now, one more thing is when you look at this $15,000 bump that you got, it's obviously worthwhile to do the show and to go on Shark Tank. What piece of advice could you give to somebody new coming to the show? What should they do better that maybe you missed the mark on that they might be able to do better if they were to go on the show with it?
Oh, good question. One thing I would say is definitely know your target audience and who you're trying to sell to. I think I don't want to say that was one of the things that we missed, but with being able to say certain things, and you know, with Shark Tank, you can talk about certain things and other things you can't. You know, you're up there for a certain amount of time, and then you guys get to see the edited version.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys saw literally 7 minutes of damn near a 30-minute session when we were up there.
Yeah.
And if we were able to talk a little bit more about our target market, I think that would help out a lot. So I tell people that call me and say, hey, how can I get on the tank, or what kind of advice would you give me? I just let them know, hey, know your numbers, because they grill you about numbers. Know your numbers. Don't be afraid to be super honest, whether you're a small business, a new business, if you're a veteran entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Just go in there, be confident, know your numbers, and know your target market.
Beautiful.
Sound
Good
advice.
advice. Yeah. Zoe?
Zoe, take it away, Zoe.
So there were 3 of you who came on the tank, and I'm just curious how any success now that you've seen afterwards has affected the relationship among the 3 of you, because we see a lot of times where when success comes to a brand, people start having a lot of differences of opinion about where to go next.
Yeah, we hate each other. We can't stand it.
I hope that's a joke.
No, it's cool. If anything, it's just it's really making us focus a little bit more, because our end goal is not to just sell to the consumer. Our end goal is to be able to sell wholesale to retail stores, so that you guys can go to any, you know, grocery store, liquor store, whatever, and go pick up Spritz. So we all have the same goal in mind. How we're getting there, we're still working on those things. But, you know, going on the show, the sales being boosted up, doing orders every day, it hasn't affected our relationship none. If anything, it's just making us a little bit more eager and hungry. At times, I can be somewhat of a prick because I really want to be successful, and I really want to win. And you know, but again, I think it's really bringing us a little bit closer together, even if sometimes we may disagree. But that's all entrepreneurs. Everybody's going to disagree and agree at times, but that just makes your relationship a lot better.
Well, we really love seeing you guys on the show. We're happy that you were able to join us tonight. So thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to let you know how the peppermint works out.
Yes, get your package.
Okay.
Please get your package.
Okay. Thanks so much, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, take care.
Much love.
All right, bye-bye. So awesome.
Yeah, it was
You're a
good.
great guy. I love having people on the show offer the advice, and everybody's been so honest about it.
They are. They have been very honest about it behind
I'm
the scenes.
surprised. The Shark Tank bump.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
real.
Legendary.
It's real.
You think
That's
we
the
can
real
go
deal.
on as a brand?
Yes.
Let's do it.
We will sell a super organizer
Show.
+3.
Oh, no, this is the, remember, this is hashtag Shark Squad, right?
Hashtag
That's
Shark
right, you
Squad.
guys.
This is our new hashtag.
If you have something to share with Tony, if you want to talk about us, don't forget hashtag Shark Squad. Let us know.
right.
SQUAD.
And with that, we will
Yes.
hop into episode 18 of season 7.
And thank you guys who are watching us right now. Hello, Yvette Rose.
Oh, thank
She
you.
said she loved the
Good
show, the
chat.
panel.
Hello, Yvette.
Awesome vibe.
Oh,
Thank
we
you.
love you. Yay.
Yes.
So first up tonight, Swor-it. 1.5 million, 8%. This is the personalized workout, what is called the Spotify for working out. Chris, what are your first thoughts on
First
this one?
thoughts. I think the 8% was laid out with the intention of going to 10.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a company like this. There's a company called Kodiak, and my yoga instructor is. She's got yoga routines that she's done on
Yeah.
there, and she gets paid tens of thousands of dollars a month from these routines that she's done on there. So they're doing pretty well. You know, my first thought is it's hard to appreciate the amount of growth that they can have because they're operating in a tech space which is very unpredictable. But they seem to have all the right answers. Like they're two really well prepped, intelligent guys.
Yeah.
That's my first thoughts.
James Lott Jr., how about you?
Actually, he kind of mirrored a lot of my thoughts. It's kind of sorry. I just think I agree. I'm like, it was like because you know, I'm from San Francisco, where you know it's a huge app territory, and it's like it'd be a good app, but it's hard in that field. I mean, tech field, it's just like there's a million thousand apps.
I would think it's hard to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a good price, $3.99 for the professional. I mean, it's all the stuff sounds fine. I didn't care for the name.
Yeah, I just kind of sounds like a utensil.
I thought the
Zoe,
same.
Yeah, exactly.
Zoe, is this something you would use? Is this something that you would be into as a customer?
Well, I definitely understand the point of it, and what I was surprised that none of the sharks brought up was that it is so hard to be in that app space, which we've heard them talk about repeatedly with other entrepreneurs, but I think what made these two guys stand out is that they said they were consistently in the top 10 for their other apps, so that gave them the gravitas, I guess, behind what they're doing. But that said, I mean, it sure seems competitive to me, and it's not being sold for very much. The pro version is only $3.99. I mean, is that all it costs to work out? You guys, I'm missing out.
No kidding.
It doesn't make
Cancel
you
the
work
gym
out.
membership.
Right, exactly.
That's it. So this is, I think, what's interesting about this is not. It's very much the gym membership model, right? So you're selling. Well, it's not subscription, but
Totally the same. You're right.
you're just selling the product up front. You don't really necessarily, and this is nothing against the entrepreneurs, but you don't necessarily care about the wellness of the person. It's about getting the one-time purchase and or the subscription. Now that could be part of it. You could care, but it's an interesting model because I'm not going to make myself do this.
Right.
Now, I think the interesting aspect of this, the really kind of cool aspect of this for me is you can set the amount of time that you have to do the working out. At that point, I kind of question how effective it is.
That was a cool feature.
It's a very cool feature.
5 minutes, you guys.
5 minutes is what you
No,
got.
but what does that do? Does that actually help you? 5
We're not
minutes?
talking about bedtime. We're talking about normal exercise throughout the course of the day. So. But they have 1.5 million active users that are
that was
freebies.
a staggering number.
That is. That's a lot of people that are there. They had their percentages, which is you have an upsell rate or a conversion rate between 2 and 9%.
Yeah.
So if they can attract people on the free model and get them to purchase into, and they know their numbers right, well then it stands to reason that they can continue to make it work. But back to your point, and actually both of your points, is that there's a whole lot of apps out there and there's a whole lot of technology, and do you want to gamble and throw the dice on that much money?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
to me, and I don't know if you guys think this. I could be a crazy person, but
You are.
I know I am. But it seems like thank you, Alexis.
So our producer.
It seems like the starting an app is the new I'm a writer.
Yes.
It's the new black.
Is the new
I
black?
know.
Yeah.
Sorry, James
I'm
Lott
the old
Jr.
black. I'm the old black. Oh,
But you know
sure
what I
am.
mean? Because you've met people that either have a blog that they don't really write on.
Right.
I mean, anybody can create an app, so
Yeah, you
it
can.
must be really hard to stand out.
Well, my thing was long term. Unless you could get it to where it's a household name, where it becomes synonymous with working out, with instructional fitness, it may just fade into the background and just stay kind of the same level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to do the Snapchat and all these other things that come out. Only a few take off.
Yeah.
Is that brand dominance?
Yeah.
There was a book that was written called Positioning by Trout and Reese that's all about the battle for the mind of the consumer. And once somebody's got that, it's hard to be the next Coke. Or Coca-Cola.
It's hard to be the next cocaine.
Or Kleenex.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you think tissue, you think Kleenex first before you think anything else.
I don't even call it
There you
tissue.
go.
I call it Kleenex.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Off-brand Kleenexes? Yeah.
Well, JLJ, you could do an app about organization.
I could.
You could.
But I mean,
If you were organized enough. I'm just kidding.
JLJ
very
is a super
organized.
organizer for anyone who doesn't know.
But the thing is, I would have to become this big brand for people to go. He's the guy to go to for organization tips.
Right.
I think you are.
And this is the thing
He
we
is.
always
Yes.
come back to talking about, which
Yes.
is, do you keep it a small business or do you make it a big?
Right.
But I do think. Do you guys, real quick? We'll move on in just a second from Swor-it here. But do you think the subscription model is going to work? $9.99 when they introduce that.
The subscription model is, it's a good price point. I mean, I know this type of business well. It works much like my business does. It was really impressive that they built from $44,000 up to $95,000 a month in sales. They were maintaining it. They're the real deal. The only question is, how long are they going to be able to maintain that
agree.
real deal? Because it's a business is a balancing act. You know?
I
agree.
Yeah, spinning plates.
But then they'll start another app
agree.
and make another 2.2
Right.
million.
They might do that. Right. Not right.
That would be like promoting laziness.
Yes.
Nice.
How to be a
How do we
couch
get that
potato.
one, guys?
They're with
love
the
that
Sharks
idea.
money, and then they're so
Right.
it's a tough one to.
So they ended up getting a deal with Mark, $1.5 million for 10%, and he brought up some bit about buying the.
Unused inventory.
Unsold
You wanna
inventory.
explain that to me, Zoe?
Okay,
real
so
quick.
they sell ads on their regular version, their freebie version.
On the app.
On the app,
Okay.
right? Because that's how they support it monetarily. If you don't spend $3.99 to buy the app, then you watch ads.
Okay.
So let's say an ad for thesuperorganizer.com goes on, and he decides he wants to spend however much it is, let's say $10 for every time it pops up. So what Mark is doing is saying he will buy all of those unsold $10 spots.
I see.
But so his 1.5 million investment is essentially buying those empty spots. It's not completely, because if they don't have 1.5 million worth of spots, if they only have, let's say, 100,000 worth, he'll only get 100,000.
And then the
but
carryover.
that's essentially
Okay.
the idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he's tagging onto the marketing, and it's a good joint venture for him.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
didn't understand that, quite frankly. I was watching the thing and going, what the heck?
I think
I got
that's
it.
certainly
I'm glad
the
you
first
explained
time.
I
I
got
think
it.
that's
It
the
was
first
just-
time
it was
we've
just
seen
one of
that contingency.
It was the first time you heard it on there, but I thought it's a win for them. Win-win for them.
Absolutely.
They still sell
Yeah.
all of their ad.
Yeah,
space.
exactly.
So that's the part I got for sure.
So hey, you guys out there, what did you think? Do you think this was a good idea? Shark Squad. Hashtag. Let us know.
Hashtag. Moving
Tweet us.
on to clean
I
sweep.
think we could call our audience Shark Squad too.
Yes, I do.
Everybody's
Everybody.
Shark Squad. We're all Shark Squad. Come on in.
So next up,
You're a Shark Squad.
we have clean sweep,
good. I wanna talk about
$1.5 million for 15%. This is the mattress cleaner that's in the back of a truck. James Lott Jr., what do you think of this one?
First of all, I like the logo, but I like the name.
Yeah. I thought it was clean sheep, and I
Yeah,
thought
me
it was
too.
a sheep
Yeah,
cleaning
me too.
service.
But you
So-
guys are so
Perfect.
smart. You count sheep to go to sleep.
I didn't
And
care
if you
for
don't
it.
clean your sheep, I mean, what's going to happen
Then you won't
know?
sleep.
You guys are like.
But other than the
moving on,
logo, what did
JLJ.
you
Yeah, other than logo, I didn't care for logo. Other than logo, but I really liked this. I think it's a great idea, and I think he needs to not try to franchise it. I think he needs to keep it, get some more trucks, and make it bigger that way. And really go to the hotels and especially motels.
Motels.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of motels in L.A. You go to motels in L.A. And motels, they need to clean their beds. And offer it as a service for residential. I think it completely could be something big that way. But I like the idea.
Yeah. Do you think that does it continue in the truck?
That's an interesting
Do you
question.
think that's the best way to do it? Or do you do brick and mortar?
Both.
But then at
do
that
both.
point,
Brick and
people would
mortar?
have to take their mattress.
Yeah.
How often do you
Zoe.
travel with your mat?
I know. It's not brick and mortor.
Holy crap!
What's Zoe saying? I missed something.
Yeah.
Something
I guess I'm actually surprised.
Oh my god!
It just struck me like, what am I gonna load the mattress on my back and walk down to the store with it?
No, I mean like the machine should be maybe at some stationary places or a
Yes, and
stationary place.
how do you get your mattress there?
By the car.
By the truck.
Hire a kid. I don't know.
I don't know.
Never.
Postmate it. $89.95. Should
was
they
incredible.
be charging more?
That was too low. We
Yeah.
should be charging more.
Yeah?
I agree.
Absolutely.
Is
Charge
this
more.
something you'd use, Zoe?
No, because it's a little bit fear-mongering to me. And I thought it was interesting because the update this week, which we'll get to, I'm sure, eventually,
Yeah.
was Signal Vault. And I had the same concept, or the same problem with
Yeah.
Signal Vault when it came on. You and I were there, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Our two newbies here, Chris and JLJ, weren't
that's
with
us.
us. But my problem is just that products like this are a little bit of fear-mongering of hurry up and do this because look at, all your sweat in your mattress.
Yeah.
And so... Am I super concerned about my mattress? No, I'm not. But do I think this is a great idea for people who are concerned? Absolutely. And he said that he can save money and he has seen it in hospitals and in hotels. So in that case, even better, I think that's where he should focus his business.
Although, what I will add to that is that the only reason why you're not concerned, I had a Dyson guy come by and do the demonstration one time at my house. There was so much crap that comes out of this mattress. I don't know what. Did I say something wrong?
No.
No,
I can just imagine.
Yeah, me too.
It's disgusting. It's like
I have...
I'm sorry, Zoe.
No,
I don't mean
I'm
to give you
super
a
excited
complex.
about it. No,
Oh my God.
I have this amazing vacuum. It's called a Rainbow that is way too expensive to be a vacuum. But it is the most amazing thing
Did you see
ever.
stuff get sucked out of your
And
mattress?
so I have an attachment for it that is actually the only thing approved by the American Allergy something or other
Oh, by
to
them.
vacuum your mattress. That said, I have vacuumed my mattress maybe once in the 7 years that I've had this. So my point
Right.
is, I still think my mattress is clean.
I just take a lighter and a can of hairspray and just burn the top layer off.
Good plan.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah,
like
I
when
did
you
the same thing.
Yeah.
Way less than $89.95.
Why not?
when you go into hotels and you've seen those undercover things where they go in and they put all the fluorescent stuff and
Yeah.
makes all the semen
But
on
you
the
guys,
walls
why
stand
watch
out. I mean,
that?
it's like, why watch that?
Yeah, because all it does is feed into paranoia. I mean, every day, you guys, we are sitting at this desk. Did anyone come in and Lysol this before touching
No.
it? I didn't.
But
But
who knows what
you know
Alexis was
but
doing?
what's funny? I do think about it. I don't think it's fear mongering. I actually think the opposite. I think that nowadays we have a lot of diseases. As a former nurse coming up, things are going around that we don't things that we don't even know what they are because we're not cleaning ourselves. People don't wash their
We're
hands.
not cleaning
Yeah.
ourselves.
I wrote a blog a year ago called Beware of Your Hotel Remotes, and I swear to God, I got thousands of hits on it.
Oh, I bet.
But I didn't write it for fear. I was just trying to say, just be careful as you touch things when you go to places where things are being used over and over again. And I just want to see things be cleaner more often.
Carry
More often.
your Spritz.
Yes.
We just
I
press the
spray it
table
right
down.
over there and then lick it.
I am all about
After you're done, lick it. In your sleep.
because it's peppermint.
It's going to be nice.
The one thing I'll say about this whole business is the guy was, unfortunately, he's brilliant. The idea was great. The price was incredible, but he was all over the place. He was just too diversified in his thinking, and he lost it based on the presentation, which was an extension of his thinking around the business. He had his hands in too many pots.
And back to that franchising thing, stop it.
Yeah, I don't know why people do.
know.
And
So
again,
just
this guy
stop it.
seemed great.
Yes,
he
did
seemed
seem
great.
great.
Loved his story. But
Yes.
people go to the franchising
They
really
do.
quickly.
It's like build your business first.
Yes, but you guys, he sold those franchises for over $400,000.
One
sold
franchise, one.
He sold out of his 5 trucks. Only one was his, I believe. The other 4 came from a
I
franchise.
thought there was only one
We only
franchise,
sold
but
one
I could be wrong.
franchise.
Only one franchise,
they
but
must
he
have had the
owns,
other
he
trucks.
owns
the other trucks,
the
yes.
other trucks, but they're not franchised.
They're not franchised. He said he had the trucks for 8 months.
So he owns them.
About 100,000 a truck he's been making off
Yeah.
them. So that's good.
But wait,
that's
did I misunderstand? I thought out of the 5 trucks he did, most of them were franchised. And
No.
Only the
I
one.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understood the opposite.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. But you know,
Okay.
but each truck's doing 100,000. So I'm saying keep growing those trucks. I mean,
Right.
that's the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
In 8 months, that's the great part.
Get a fleet going.
Get a fleet
Clean
going.
everybody's mattress.
I'm going to clean your
Gary
Go to
G.
Zoe's house first.
I wanted to partner
My,
with that.
my house is shoe free. I am
Oh, so
really
you're good.
clean.
You are good.
And it's never seen shoes.
I went.
You guys, I lived in Japan, and since then
then
I
you
can't
know,
wear my
okay.
shoes inside anywhere.
Yeah.
People, when they come into my house, it is like, take your shoes off, and if you don't come back.
Ooh, okay.
That's wow.
But you're
Well,
not
Jay,
worried about semen on the
I
beds
just
in
want
hotel
them-
rooms.
Oh my God.
That was
Went there. Went
Shark
my
Tank
God.
After Dark.
Dark,
Hashtag
exactly.
Shark
If you're in a
Squad.
hotel, do
Tweet
not
us.
use Spritz and lick it on the bed. Moving on.
Hey.
Tweet us
Tutu
and let us know.
Blue. Last thought about Clean Sweep. I want him to partner with that guy who does the radio ads where he go, mattresses are free. Yeah, do that.
You're killing me, Larry.
Sit in
Larry.
You're killing me, Larry.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Hate those
Tutu
commercials.
Blue. Tutu Blue, 200,000, 25%. I don't understand.
Okay, first of all, I do the soap shows here at AFTERBUZZ TV. When I saw her come out, I'm like, she was on Bold and Beautiful and Days of Our
I
Lives.
thought you'd notice.
I noticed the same thing.
Her
though.
name is Sarah Buxton. I'm like, I know her. I know who she is on shows forever. Anyway, and she mentions it later. Those things were hideous. I'm sorry.
You so thought you had the scoop on that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I
so
know.
did I.
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking,
know.
this girl's famous. I know.
She's
her.
on TV already. She's an actress.
That's because we're in our
Yes.
later ages.
Yes.
So this
later
is I guess it would be, I describe it as a turtleneck you wear to the beach.
Yeah.
It blocks UV. I guess the biggest thing. So she talks about getting melanoma.
Yeah.
Diagnosed with melanoma, and so that was the motivation behind this business. Now this thing, it blocks 97% of UV rays.
Yes.
So you don't have to put on sunscreen. It keeps you cool. But it's expensive, right? $220.
Dollars.
I mean, a bottle of sunscreen. You got to figure you're replacing sunscreen.
Yes.
At what? $10 a bottle?
If even.
If even that, right?
Yeah, although I think it's got a different market. Like I liked the idea. I liked the concept. It looked good on all of them. They looked great.
Because they were in great shape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
Yes.
But I mean,
100%.
somebody with skin cancer is going to. I mean, they'd buy that for sure.
Okay.
I think there's something in it, but I can't tell what. It's like,
agree.
there's definitely a market for it, and I think that she should have played the story. She should have told the story and sold on the story, like we see with the guy with the crickets, like we see with the
Yeah.
They sell the story. What's the problem? Why do you sell the problem of the bees being, from the other episodes? If you have no idea what I'm talking about.
People are like, it blocks bees?
The bees? What's wrong with the bees? What happens to the bees?
I'll buy
going on?
4.
The bees. Save the bees.
I think there's something there. I don't think the price point's that bad personally, but yeah, I don't see there's something there. I just don't know what.
I agree that the price point isn't so bad because there's a brand called Coolabar, and my dad was actually diagnosed with skin cancer, and so there's a brand called Coolabar that makes clothing that covers you up basically head to toe like this, that's really stylish, and the prices are similar. So if you're the type of person who's had this melanoma and you've got to cover up, then you can do it and look great. And that said, when I first moved to LA, I went on a date with a guy to the beach, and as I'm taking clothing off, he's putting more and more on.
Oh, how funny.
You're like, wait a second.
Exactly.
Right.
That's amazing. What's going on
Oh,
here?
how funny.
So, although I can't picture anyone actually wearing this,
I can't.
I know.
that's
the
what it made me
problem.
think
Yeah.
of a little bit. Like,
You
I
know-
get people covering
Well, because
up.
kids, they have I've seen the kids
right.
ones,
Yeah.
and
And
I've seen.
Coolabar has them,
Yes,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for this is going to be, how do you teach people that this just isn't a wetsuit?
Right.
I think that's going to be the biggest
Robert
obstacle.
said that.
Yeah.
He's like, what is it, a wetsuit? Is it competing for a
Right.
He just couldn't find the place that it sat. Maybe in a future, new reality, if you ever saw that movie The Island, where they were all
Yes.
wearing the...
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Love that movie.
I could see this product fitting in there, like
Okay.
an alternate universe, maybe.
So you're telling me you'd buy it
Oh my God.
whenever people are cloning each other? Okay, we got Chris's
But
pitch
it looked
on
great.
I have a problem because I'm not a skinny person, and I have no problem with my body, but I don't want to wear something that's going to make me accentuate my body even more, like some big, from Willy Wonka, like I'm fucking Violet Beauregard. It's like, oh, it's a blueberry. I mean, that's the problem for me. And she touched on it a little bit. I'm just saying, they
Yes.
had great bodies. I'm like, Wait, what about those of us who look like other objects?
I like how Barbara was like, I'm gonna look nice tonight.
Yeah, so like, but she's skinny.
And it's
She's
like,
a skinny
Barbara,
bitch.
okay,
Of course you can wear
calm
it.
down.
But the rest of us.
All right.
guys did anything?
Blueberry James Lott Jr.
Yes,
I'll
that's
never
my
be able to
problem.
get it out of my head.
Violet's turning violet.
Violet?
Right, Spritz.
What is it? Like Blueberry James Lott Jr.
Yes, exactly.
Jail.
I can't do it.
We have to move on.
You move on. We move on.
We have to move on, but Tutu Blue did not get a deal.
No.
Last episode 18 is Nobo, as James Lott Jr. called it before the show, no HBO.
I kept seeing it that way.
$100,000 for 20%.
Yes, hate the
16-year-old
name.
kid pitching this thing. So it is a shampoo. It's more of a delivery system, they were saying, but it's a little ball that you can put, you scrunch it up in water and it's shampoo.
So brilliant!
Do you like this?
I loved it. You guys, did no one else like it? I thought this was the most brilliant thing. It can go through TSA. Sometimes when I travel, like I use a nice shampoo, and because I don't want to bring the whole bottle with me because pain in the ass TSA, I squeeze little bits of it into Ziploc baggies and I label them and hope that I've guessed the right amount for however many days I'm going to be gone. How great to just grab one of these balls. And
She made me happy as an organizer.
I was
right now.
about to say.
You just made me happy as an
I saw you light
organizer.
up.
I think I had an orgasm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm like,
I'm so
The
I
moment
love
she
it.
said grab
You
those
just-
little balls, you say,
Well, that too.
You
You
just
know
heard
that
a blueberry.
Yes. Thank you. I was like,
Blueberry.
Zoe, that's a great idea.
Oh, I color
I
code
would,
things
you
too.
know,
Oh my God.
I
I
know,
would
there's another blueberry
accidentally.
gasm.
I
would-
love you.
I would accidentally eat this thing.
It was kind of a weird thing. It was kind of like it looked like a candy dish from like my grandmother in her
You
purse.
would have to keep it away from people
Yes.
who don't know.
Now, let me
Yes.
tell you, I
Yes.
love Benjamin.
I do
right?
too. I
Benjamin
do too.
is this. I love when we have these younger people who come in who just know the crap out of their numbers.
Yes.
It's so impressive.
I have a grandson his age who ain't doing nothing. Sorry, grandson. The people on Shark Tank coming up with great ideas for environmentalists, and what are you doing? Playing
he's
video
sending a
games.
message
Playing
there. Yeah.
Nintendo.
Playing video games.
Okay, you guys.
No,
Did anyone catch this? Maybe this is just me. So my grandmother is Bubby. Bubby
yeah, that's
her name,
is
it's her name.
grandmother
Yeah, it
in
does.
Yiddish.
Yeah, yeah.
Did anyone else think
she
the
was the
Sharks had
grandmother?
no idea that
They
Bubby
did.
meant grandmother?
I don't think
I don't
they
think they
did.
did.
I don't think
I
they
think
did
they had no
either.
I
idea.
know
that
they
was her
didn't.
name.
I had no idea. Unless you're a Jewish shark.
Well, see, I knew from that. I have
Yeah.
Jewish friends, so I knew that. But I don't think any of them knew that.
I don't think they
I
did.
don't
They're
think
like
they knew.
Bubby,
And they
you're
kept
like-
calling her Bubby.
Benjamin was
so
awesome,
funny.
though. Benjamin was
Loved
awesome.
He was
was
awesome.
good.
I love how he called all these places. He found
Yep.
the CEO of Hyatt Hotels. He found his emailed him. It's freaking awesome.
That's the fire that it takes to make it happen. That's the same fire Richard
Absolutely.
Branson had when he was 16 years old. He was picking up the phones and saying, "Hey, do you want your ads in our magazine before or after Coca-Cola?" And he hadn't even sold Coca-Cola yet.
It's amazing.
So it's
Amazing.
that fire. Yeah,
It's
he had it.
amazing.
And it was cheap to make and cheap to sell. I mean, it was like great price points, really cheap to make.
What I thought was interesting is he was pitching this as the delivery system. At
Yes.
first, we all thought, I thought it was only shampoo, but it's the delivery system. So when you talk about the opportunities for licensing, it kind of goes through the roof. And that was interesting. What was interesting about this, we had 3 offers: Robert, Mark, and Barbara.
Yeah.
Robert and Barbara both contingent on some sort of licensing. Barbara specifically, if he could get a deal at Estee Lauder.
So scary. What is that, Barbara?
I would not have taken
Like
that.
No
Estee
way.
Lauder. This is 1995. I was like,
Yes.
what are we
Well,
talking
that's
about?
just so specific.
It
Not
is.
just like
No.
a deal with any big brand.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
definitely he
I
ended
agree.
up taking a deal with Mark, 100,000 for 25%, with was just 5 north of what he came in asking for. But Mark, I think, made him feel safe. Right, you have
agree.
know nothing about the accounting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that on the website. Don't worry about it. Blah blah blah. So I
agree.
think he made a good deal on that.
Mark likes to invest in people too.
Yes.
We've seen that
Absolutely.
with Sean
Yeah.
Patel. With the what was Sean's business was
2400 expert, yeah.
And we've seen that now with this. So he likes to invest in people. And he likes to invest young.
Yes.
And he likes to invest in their potential. And I like that.
Definitely.
you
We
got-
did have. Go ahead. What's up?
I was just gonna say, you guys, didn't you love at the end when he did his interview? He said it was like winning the lottery, but better because he actually earned it.
Yeah.
I loved that. If
Yeah.
I didn't love Benjamin when he came in, which I did, I really loved him at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah,
I
he was
thought,
good.
what a great, astute comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I thought that was great.
Yes.
And I still wouldn't mind winning the lottery in case anyone has a ticket.
Yeah, in case, call us up. We had an
Hashtag.
update. We had an update from episode 18, but we'll do both of those at the end of the show.
Yeah,
So let's move on to 19. First up, Insta-Fire, 300,000 for 10%. Okay. I loved it.
Yes.
I was sold, all in.
I
All in.
100% loved this thing because
Me
I
too.
used to camp all the time as a kid. It was a pain in the butt to get a fire started. I know I'm lazy. You can rub the sticks together, but I just wanted to pour lighter fluid on the thing and let it rip. But this is awesome on so many levels. It's a quick fire starter. It's something you should have in case of emergency. You can throw it in your tub and light it. How awesome is that? You can do it.
Well, you know, I've never gone camping my entire life. So, for me, I tried to start fires with my grandkids a couple weeks ago in Sacramento, and it was hard.
Bunch of video games, right?
Yeah, but it's video games. They were playing video games. Papa Jamie, start the fire. So, this
You
thing...
didn't start the fire.
I did start the fire in other ways, but I like this. It's been perfect. When they have this, the whole pouch system for one of them, you just throw it in, and the charcoal, I love it. I'm in, so in.
Loving it was definitely where I was at, and they've been in business for 7 years and only made $2 million. That to me is a big warning sign for
I
something.
think, I think so too. But their reasoning for that, I could totally believe, because these are two guys. I mean, let's be honest. They're, and no offense to you, but they're, kind of older, crusty guys who.
No offense to us, you said.
We're working on this pitch. You know what I mean?
No.
They're of the earth, right? So they're not going to be on Twitter.
Could you say that
tweeting
one
about
more
this
time?
thing.
I know, older guys. Of the earth.
But these guys aren't going to be the ones who have the strong
Yes.
outreach skills when it comes to marketing and
that's true.
such. And
That's
so
true.
when they said they started amping that up is when the deals started coming in. They said Home Depot, Myers, Cabela's in the last 3 months.
Ace True Hard Value.
Ace True
Amazing,
Hardware,
yeah.
which is big, in the Midwest,
Yeah,
especially.
Midwest, mhm.
But I think this thing is going to kill.
I think so too.
It's a
I
great
want to buy it.
product.
I want
It's
it.
a great product.
I want it.
I think so too.
want it.
And the
I want
name,
it.
I mean, how did they get this name? This is awesome. This is the
Great
perfect
name. Great name.
It's literally an instant fire.
Yeah, that's probably what they thought. Like, it's instant
Yes.
and it's fire.
It's Insta-Fire. Wait, run me through the thought process one more time, Chris.
Okay, it was instant and there was fire.
Genius.
Let's go.
How did they do it?
Start from Violet Beauregard over there.
I know. Oh my
Hashtag
God.
Shark
So,
Squad.
Everybody was
God.
all over this thing.
Yes.
Kevin, 300,000,
Oh, yeah.
33.5. Damon, 300,000, 20%, 33 and a third equity online. Mark and Lori, 300 for 33.5. Damon, 17. He went down, 17.5, 25% online. Kevin, 25%. Mark and Lori, 30%. Kevin, 20%. They ended up making a deal with Mark and Lori for 30%, which I think was the right call.
I agree.
I couldn't hear. Will you do that again?
I do really. I know.
No, it's too many numbers. It's too many numbers.
Yes.
You know, the only thing I have to add is that I thought it was interesting with watching these 2 episodes very close to back,
Yeah.
that they had really talked about all the different ways they were going to go. They talked about emergency prepared, the charcoal briquettes, and yet that's exactly what, in the last episode we just talked about, that's what Clean Sleep just got criticized for, having all those ideas. So it's really interesting to me when the sharks sometimes are okay with all that diversification and all these other ideas, and sometimes when they think it just takes away from
That is interesting.
I thought you were going to say that you couldn't understand what the difference, the instant part and the fire part. I thought that was going to be the point. Could you explain that one more time? No, but you're right. You know why I think that is because here they've got a product that's cheap. It was 18.5 cents to make. It was for the per packet. I mean, it was nothing. And the other one, the mattress one, there was a lot of stuff that had to happen in order to really get what the singular focus was for driving revenue. With this one, I think it was easy for the sharks to imagine.
Right.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
just interesting when
I
that
agree.
comes up.
Yeah, it is.
definitely.
Very interesting.
Moving on to the Custard Stand Hot Dog Chili, 400,000 for 10%. I think this is probably one of the most interesting products I've ever seen in the Shark Tank because
Do tell.
it's so simple.
This is my
It's
surprise
chili
face.
that they put into a little thing and they're selling it.
So they
It's
put the
interesting
chili
because
in the
it's
little
like,
thing.
In
No,
the little
just kidding.
thing. And then they
Surprise.
sell it. So this, no preservatives. They're selling this as a mostly meat-based product. $1.6 million last year in sale. It's crazy. Selling it in Walmart. And Mark was a big fan of these guys in the sense that you are the Shark Tank dream, right? A lot of people watching this, they're looking at you going, man, you guys are killing it. What did you guys think about the biggest argument against this one, which is it won't work out of the regional sales? Do you agree, disagree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I used to live in Ohio for a year. I spent a year there. And there's Skyline Chili
I
and
love
Gold
Skyline
Star.
Chili.
Okay?
Love
And they're
it.
the 2 competing ones. And it's very regional. Like, you can't find it outside of that area. You can't find it outside
Well,
of
very southern Ohio,
Kentucky.
yeah, and western Ohio.
And it's very like just for that area, I'd say. Like, it's got cinnamon in it, the
Yeah, it
taste.
does.
You can't get it other places. So that's what I think.
I want a
this is
3-way
little
right
bit.
now, a 4-way right now. I love
Whoa.
Skyline Chili. That's what they call them.
And we're not even
Sorry, it was
talking
a what?
it
I
out.
thought that was a proposition.
A
Sorry,
3 or
that was a what?
4-way. That's what
Okay.
they because it's put on pasta. That's what you do with
About
Skyline
this
Or
Chili.
a hot dog. I like
Or
mine
hot
on a
dog.
hot dog.
I like it on pasta.
Food.
Interesting.
Okay.
But
I
it's
like
very
mine on a
regional.
hot dog. Yeah.
It's very
So
regional.
anyway, I think that it is hard to sell chili like that in other places where people have different taste buds.
It's like
That's very
it's
true.
like selling cheese curds, right? They're going to sell in one part of the country, but maybe
That's
not another.
exactly what I was thinking. Cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
I both agree and disagree with that because what was it? Well, there's another business food business that was kind of like this.
Pizza?
No, it was a barbecue business.
Like the Famous Dave's.
No, I forget if it was that.
'Cause they
one,
started in some
but it was,
Midwestern
it was
places,
in
but they-
Shark Tank. It was on Shark
Shark
Tank.
Tank.
Barbecue sauce.
Um,
the guy.
Yeah, but he sold. It was the sauce. No, it was the frozen. It was like the frozen ribs.
Steph
and
loved
stuff.
him.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that it's a little bit of both kind of luck
Yeah, it
in terms of it,
depends.
and also
Yes.
people really liking the food. Because I think if people really like the
Right.
food, it'll kind of find its way out there.
Because Zoe's right, because like also in Cincinnati, there's this thing called Geta, and it's only basically in Cincinnati. Like you can't really find it anywhere else in the country, and it's like it's very specific to people grow up with it. So it's like.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. If it catches on somewhere else, you have to do a lot of taste tests around the country to see if someone would take it on, and you can bring
Yeah.
it somewhere else. So I kind of agree with that. I think it's just stay where it's at.
Brings in risk.
Yeah, brings
Yeah.
the risk.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Well, they did not get a deal, but I think we should order some.
I want some
Give
fly
it
it
a
out there,
shot.
please. Fly it out. It looks good. It looks
Send some, we'll
delicious.
talk about it.
I'm down for that.
Dry ice. Dry
Just a
ice.
couple more here.
Make sure we order more of those porta
let's speed
potties.
me
Or
up, Patty.
what do they call it?
Squatty potty.
Squatty potty. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Up next, PRX Performance 80,000 for 10%. This is the workout station for your home that folds away against your wall. You attach it via 2 studs. Right
yeah.
now, they have a commercial retail option for $1,099. They're working on the consumer one that starts at $550. Assembly 1 to 2 hours. Is this something you think is going to work, Zoe?
I think for people who have home gyms and want space, like Mr. Wonderful said, I thought that was a great point, and I loved how he said they were doing the home gym in his lake house basement.
Yeah. Relatable.
Please invite us, Mr. Kevin.
What the hell?
Let's all do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not intimidated by the 2 hours. I think if
Uh-huh.
you can't do the work yourself, it's easy enough to hire a handyman for something like that.
That's fair.
You can
James?
hire 2 studs.
There, 2 studs. I like that. That's a good name for a business. 2 studs
Hashtag
assembly service.
Shark Squad.
Squad.
I'm gonna be the opposite of Zoe, and
Yeah.
I am intimidated by them putting it together. And
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours is too long. Too much time. You can go to IKEA and get things faster and done faster. I mean, I just think it's one of those things. People nowadays have short attention spans, and they're lazy. They want it to be easy. They want to be able to get it. I love the idea of this thing. I love it, especially in small spaces. Small space living is big right now, especially in organizations. Big right now, and like in cities like San Francisco, New York, where you can't build out, you can build up. This thing is perfect. I think it needs to be. I don't mind the price so much. I think it needs to be easier assembly.
I think there's other products in the marketplace that already do
They
it.
do that.
So they're
You know, this is my
That's-
first reaction to it as well, Chris. I think there's similar products because, they're collapsed, whatever. Even if it's not against the wall, you have somewhere for it. But my biggest, I think, problem with it, if there's a problem, is that people who have home gyms have a room for their home gym, right? And if you don't have room for the home gym, then I think this is an eyesore. Because even though it's foldable against the wall, it's still going to be on there. So if there was some kind of it looks like a Van Gogh painting when you fold it against the wall.
Like a Murphy
I think
bed.
that's great.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Exactly.
I have Murphy
100%.
beds. I've had Murphy beds in my life.
100%.
But see,
If
then
it had the Murphy
they're
bed.
also competing with Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris has that thing, and you don't want
Yes.
to compete with Chuck Norris.
No, you
Chuck's
don't.
gonna
Now, side note, in our chat room, forget Shark Tank. Zoe is goals.
I love whoever who said that.
Shoot to sigh.
Shoot to tie. I love you too.
all
And we only have 4
Zoe
minutes. But
is,
thank you.
hashtag Zoe is gold.
Goals.
I like
That's
that.
right.
Hashtag you made Zoe's
Had to
night.
say it.
So we have to move on to Rags.
Thank
you.
Raches. I don't know how to say
Raches,
it.
'cause it's like
But
Rachel, her name.
Kevin
Yes.
ended up getting a deal with PRX Performance, 80,000 for 20%.
Dodes.
And that is that. Rags to Raches, 200,000 for 10% is what they were seeking. And what do you think? This is the romper with no straps. They use elastic. Zoe, what do you think of this one?
I do not get it.
Oh.
I don't either.
Okay.
What? Who takes their clothing off all the way down? What is that?
I mean, I do, but
And that elastic will eventually stretch out. It's not going to lay nicely and pretty on your
it'll
child.
look like a bed sheet.
Yes, it's going to be this big, weird neckline. I did not love it.
Well,
Sorry,
for
Rachel.
me, I didn't like the name. Number one,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was part of her name. I didn't care for the name. Number two, because I don't know what that means. Number two, I thought as a person who has grandkids and stuff, I didn't think it was that bad for a baby wise.
Yeah.
Or like, it was only to toddler. I mean, like infant. I didn't think it was that weird. Anything older, I think it's a little weird. She said 5, 6 year old.
Yeah.
I'm like, my 5 or 6 year old's not going to be taking their clothes off to go pee.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
That's kinda
even
weird.
Thor taking off all your
That's
clothing?
weird. That's weird.
Yeah, a little strange, a little
wants to do
difficult.
that?
And if you don't, it's kind of like clothing. I think when they're making their investments, if you don't buy it unless you love it, because unless you love it, you're going to wear everything else. So from a shark perspective, I don't love it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I don't know, for me, it's so hard with the clothing businesses that come in because it's like, there's so many people who are into clothing for so many different reasons. You have some of the people like we've seen, like Tom's Shoes, where it's one part clothing, one part social agenda. But for this one, I think the designs are nice. I like the designs, but again, as somebody who doesn't have a kid, I don't know that I get it. But she has impressive sales. The online business is there, and there was definitely some interest. Robert, Kevin, Damon all put in offers for the exact same amount, $200,000 for 20%. It's 10% above what she was asking, and she ended up getting a deal with Robert. I expected her to say yes to Damon, but
Me too. I was shocked she didn't.
They had differences in terms of where it should go, and I think Robert kind of talked her out of that and onto his deal.
And for 5% less as well. So
And for
she's
5% less. I think that was definitely a big
You
deal.
guys,
But
can I just add, the germaphobe in me, so when you take off your clothing in a public bathroom and you're a child, right, you're not going to be able to hold it up. I can barely hold up my own clothing.
Did
So
you
it's
just say
all over.
germaphobe?
Yes.
But you don't clean your mattress.
I have, excuse me, I have my
She's such a
rainbow thing.
contradiction.
Remember I said to clean my
Oh,
mattress?
that's right.
Thank you.
You used once.
They're saying Zoe is gold, but she's a total contradiction.
Seriously, I carry my sanitizer. My point is, can you just imagine your clothing all over the floor in a public
No, I
bathroom?
agree with
That
you.
is just so gross.
I agree with you, which is why I try not to do it too often. We have to hop into our updates real quick before we wrap up. We had 2 of them this week. Again, episode 18 and 19. Episode 18's update was 3 Jerks Jerky. I really want to try this stuff. They got a deal with Damon, $100,000 for 15%. The night Shark Tank aired, they did $250,000 in
Yeah,
sales.
that's crazy.
The night that it aired.
Do you remember they were going to come on and became too busy and told us no?
Well,
So I'm still waiting for our
Don't
jerky
come.
in the mail, you
Don't
guys.
come.
I've gone on Amazon a couple times thinking I'd buy it for us. It's so expensive, you guys.
Is
I
it
just
really?
can't.
I'm still gonna do it.
Expensive. Oh,
So
okay.
expensive.
3
Okay,
months
we'll
after
come.
the tank, 1.4 million,
Amazing.
and the update from episode 19 was our Signal Vault, which is again the thing you put in your wallet to block from credit card scammers getting the numbers and all that. They sold out on QVC, all of their product. 4 months after Shark Tank, $2 million in sales.
Wow.
That is insane.
fantastic.
And that's our show.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks again, Tony from Spritz. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me actually this Wednesday. I'm doing an interview with Wayne Perry at 4 o'clock. He's in The Big Short and Trumbo, and then I'm with Cameron Lewis on the Mysteries and Alexis Mysteries of Laura after show at 6. And then on Friday, my radio show returns. The Super Organizer Universe. She almost said the wrong name. The Super Organizer Show on adrenaline.com.
There it is.
Beautiful. You can find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter. You can also find tips, motivation, that type of stuff at legendarylivingdaily.com. And you can find me on YouTube at legendarytv.com.
Very nice.
I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting, where I do a weekly movie analysis show about theme symbolism, eagle-eye details to watch for, and I'll try to be gold just for you guys. Cameron Lewis.
You can find me at The Only Camp Chef, Twitter and Instagram, and do a bunch of other shows here at AfterBuzz TV, as well as the Popcorn Talk Network. Until next time, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.